Hi there, everybody. I just wanted to take a few minutes this morning to talk about some of the pedagogical principles that I've learned between my time doing practicum at a local middle school band class, some of the things we've talked about in class, MUED 371, beginning instrumental methods, and as well as some of my own substitute teaching that I've done back home. So, this is the first one I want to talk about is like just in the classroom making music. I know that sounds so silly, but you'd be surprised how many teachers spend a large majority of their class time just talking at their students without making music. Like, it's so important that we actually make the music. Like I said, I know that sounds ultra redundant, but it's, you know, the kids are going to be significantly more focused if we spend more time making music with them. I mean, it doesn't really matter as much if it's singing, buzzing, playing, any of those things. I mean, most importantly, playing. But all the other things the kids will still buy into, and they're just going to engage more in the class, make more music, make better music, and it's just a better time for everybody involved. Uh, so the second principle I want to talk about are relationships with your students. Uh, this one is often overlooked. By establishing a rapport with your students, it allows you to seem more approachable and caring, whether you are or not. Chances are you are. And like for example, in my practicum experience this semester, like the first thing I always did is I went through the students' names. And I was just tried to make sure that they had an idea that I knew who they were. Yeah, I only went 4 or 5 times, but I made a point of knowing who they were. And when we were working in our lessons when I was working with them in their lessons, it was a matter of being personable and approachable. If you can do that with your students, they're more likely to be comfortable when they're playing for you, so you can give them an accurate assessment and feedback, as well as they'll be more comfortable to ask you questions. Which asking questions in the classroom, that's awesome. That means that they're wanting to learn, and that you are helping them be more specific with what they're looking for. So the third one I want to talk about is modeling. Most beginning instrumental classrooms have a good bit of modeling, and it comes for a good reason. For one, like everything that we say as teachers isn't always received like you would hope. Like you're talking about something specific with the instrument or a specific part in the music. And you're like, oh well, can you do this, 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 and you start using like fancy words like anacrusis, it's a pickup note, and stuff like that, and your students become confused. They're like, huh, well, I don't really understand that. So that's where modeling comes in. You can come in and be like, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and then you do it, and you do it next, and then they do it. But not only can you give specific instruction while you're modeling, modeling is a very, 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 very good way to enforce concept of sound and fundamentals. If you notice any of those things, either of those things are off, you can always point to something by asking a question and being like, hey, what did I just do here? It's a good way of winding back your fundamentals so that you can establish them, but also keeping the kids engaged. So the last thing I want to talk about is teaching audiation. I'm a big subscriber to Arnold Jacobs' Song and Wind, legendary tuba player for the Chicago Symphony, many, many years. And basically, Song and Wind is about the transfer of getting the music from the page, putting it in your head so that you can audiate what it sounds like, and then turning that into music. And we often get lost talking about just like fingerings and slide positions. When I was at the practicum, I noticed that so many kids had almost all or just all of the fingerings or valves or excuse me, fingerings or slide positions all written in. And that's just not teaching them music. That's teaching them, oh well, this is, it's literally just instrumental specific. And even then, when it comes to brass instruments, you have to worry about the overtone series. So they could be like, oh, I'm playing fourth position D, but they might be playing a G. So it's all about if they can hear it. uh, I mentioned earlier sing, buzz, play. That's a good way to make this happen. You model it on the instrument for them, and then you get them to sing it, then they buzz it if they're a brass player, and then they play it. It's a great way to do it. Well, running out of time, so thanks for watching.